Hello everyone, my name is Eric Mills. Today I'll be giving you an informative speech on why I think that college student athletes should not be paid to play sports. First of all, let me give you a little history about myself and sports as well. For 18 years, I had coached Little League football. Some may call it Pop Warner football. But I enjoyed doing it, working with youths. And my main focus was life skills, discipline, and getting an education. And we stressed that part of my coaching staff. That was just one thing we did. We knew when the progress reports was coming out. We knew when the report cards was coming out. And when you're dealing with kids, you want to see those things. You want to let them know that I don't want you out here playing football for me, basketball for me, baseball for me, whatever sports it may be. But we're also going to be checking up on your grades and make sure you're doing good in school. Because if you're not doing good in school, that's what we're here for too as well, to help you. And it worked out very well for us. I mean, we kids knew when those report cards was coming out, and they knew when that we would be looking for them. And they would bring them out there and let us see them. And I love that because that showed that what we was instilling in them was the right thing. They wasn't looking to get paid. Of course, they wasn't going to get paid, but they was not looking for that. And we didn't want to instill that in their mind that if you keep playing the way you're playing out here for us as Jews, think about it. You could be playing in NFL or NBA or whatever, and don't even have to worry about going to school once you finish high school. But our main focus was education, and that was very important. And I think it's still the focus on most of the coaches out there as well in the college arena. But you have some naysayers or some others out there who really think players should be paid to play ball because what they see is happening when the Big Seven conference are playing the big games on TV or wherever. They see the profit is generated. They think the players should be getting a cut of that profit. But when you look at the big picture and see where that money is going and how it's divided, then you understand why the players are not getting paid because they're already getting paid. They're getting paid to have a good tuition, scholarship free. I mean, it's paid for. They have a dome to stay in. They get free meals. They have stipends, I think, that the school can provide to them. So, and they have all those services there for them. So that's why they're there to get a degree. Because once they go into that area of paying a college athlete, then they're no longer college athletes anymore. They're professionals, and therefore they shouldn't be at the university because they are there for what they are, student athletes, students first. Notice they say student athlete, and that's what they're for. Now, of course, you have players, and I heard about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, when University of Connecticut won the college basketball tournament. And one of the players stated, I think before the end of the tournament, he had stated earlier on one of the news stations that it's been times that he had went to sleep without eating dinner. Well, you can't blame that on because he's not getting paid. You have to look at it because maybe the athletic department or the coaches have not coordinated with the cafeteria to stay open later to feed these students. I think that's what they should be doing. And of course, yes, I know their workload is hard. Most people say, well, they practicing 7 days a week and they're not getting time to study. Well, then again, you must look at the way the program is set up at the school and they can fix that problem. But I still don't think they should be getting paid to play sports at the college. Because then you have to look at, well, how much you're going to pay that player? Well, will that volleyball player get paid the same as that football player? Or will that person on the swim team get paid the same thing as that baseball player? You have to look at all those when you think about paying a college student to play because then you put them in a professional role at that time. I think, yes, you go to college to get an education, and if you choose to leave early after your sophomore year and enter into the draft or whatever, then you're no longer a student athlete anymore. Then you become a professional. But one thing that I've noticed about some of the players that was collegiate football or basketball players, some of them will go back to college after they get into the professional arena and get settled in, they will come back and pursue their degree. And that's one thing I think if the colleges are not doing, that would be great. If a player leaves early and enter the professional league, he should be able to come back and pursue his degree, what he's there for. Pursue his degree and don't have to pay for it. It should be paid for. He should be able to come back and do that. Um, but we shouldn't be paying them. That is a big mistake if we do that. And I was reading an article by a person named Jose Mitchell, and what he was talking about, that there's a misconception that athlete programs are generating a profitable and institutions are making money hand over fist. And he also stated the truth is only a fraction of the program are profitable, while most of the operational costs at the institution is generated and kind of processed through all other programs at that college. So when you think that the football or the basketball team at this Division I school is generating all the profit and it's going directly to those two programs, then that's not true. That's a misconception, because that money is, the athletic department is probably spreading that money throughout the other programs at that university. So that's a misconception I think a lot of people are seeing, that, whoa, well, this college is making all this money. And the football team is bringing. Of course, the football team, if they're in the top 10, or the basketball team in the top 10, probably are generating a lot of money because they get a lot of TV spots. They get to play on national TV, and everybody get to see them because of their schedule and their rating. But they got to understand they are also helping the other programs at that university. Now, if you got a Division III school that don't get to get on national TV, and you never hear and see them doing anything, they're not making that profit. So what should we do about them? Should they be getting paid? A running back that playing with one of the Division III schools get paid the same as a Division I running back? Should we pay them both the same? They're both running backs, and they're both in college. They're student athletes. So that's why I say I'm against paying student athletes. And that not only goes for football, but the same would probably go for basketball and in other sports, because they are student athletes. They are not there to be paid. They are there to receive an education. And if they want to get paid, then they need to enter into the professional leagues to do so, but not pay them as a student. That would tear the whole fabric of that university up if they did that. Think about if they paid all the student athletes, think about the tuition at that university. It would go skyrocketing. I mean, because everyone want to play sports. So therefore, the students that's not playing in the sports, are not academically involved in sports, their tuition will probably go skyrocketing. They probably won't be able to afford it. And some of them today can't even afford it. They leave college and have to have a big debt that they have to pay off. I have a daughter. She's a cheerleader and in college right now. And think about it. Should she be getting paid? I never asked her that question. She probably would say yes, but not thinking that that's not the right thing to do. And what it will take away from if you start getting paid, you will no longer be a student athlete anymore. You could be considered a professional, and all the benefits that you can reap from the university, you will lose those once you receive any money that consider you as a professional. But there's ways that the university can help these students. I think the NCAA have some type of a student fund that they can help them. And I think the universities can do a little bit more, have a stipend to help them. Because yes, if they are practicing, if you have some athletes out there practicing 7 days a week and going to school also, it's very hard to try to get a part-time job and have funds if you're coming from a family that don't have that type of money to help you out through while you're in college. That does cause some problems, but the university should step in then. They know who their student athletes are. They keep them from going across that line and receiving gifts that they shouldn't receive that will get them either kicked out of the program or be ineligible to play any sports at the college because they was tempted to do something because they didn't have any support and have a support channel there for them. And I think most universities can set up those and help those students, but paying a student athlete, I don't think that's a good idea, because then you have to look at a broad uh, uh, scope there of students there that's playing sports besides football and basketball. And not only that, they are not Division I students, Division III students or lower. Um, you have to pay them too. They're gonna want some too as well. They will go and get into that uh, area as well. So we need to do away with that talk about paying student athletes. And I'm still studying on the Northwestern University athletes that want to be unionized. I want to get more in that and find out what's going on there, because I think they step across the line as well, because they're students, they're student athletes. And I think if they feel that they should be getting more than what they're getting, that's when I think the university should step in and try to entertain that thought, or find out what they can do to better help the problem. But I conclude that once the universities out there start paying student athletes, they are no longer student athletes, they become professionals. And what it would do to the program, anyone guess, but I don't think they will survive. I don't think the programs will survive anymore, because therefore students will probably just completely bypass going to college and go straight into the professional arena, and that would cause serious damage to those universities, and especially the Division III schools out there that don't receive a high profit when their programs are enacted, and some of them are losing programs because they don't have the funding to keep them afloat. So I totally disagree with paying student athletes, and of course, that's my opinion, and of course other people have their own opinion about what they would and would not do. But being that I've been part of the coaching process of coaching youth, and also avid sports fan, love the game of sports, football, basketball, lacrosse, whatever it may be, and I look at the students as student athletes, not as professionals. But they need to get their degree. They need to stay in school and continue. Now, if they leave, yeah, they should come back and get that degree, because that's the most important thing. Because when your career in that sports ends, you have to have something to fall back on. And if you didn't finish school, or you left early and then decided to go back, then you're putting yourself in a bad situation, because it'll run out eventually. So that's the end of my informative speech on why I think student athletes should not be paid.